Yeah, now we'll have a look on next part of the secondary storage structure. So this is the second part of mass storage structure. So in this we are going to look into uh, other kinds of disks like solid state disk, which is a non-volatile memory like a hard drive. It can be more reliable than hard disk drives, more expensive per megabyte. It is having a shorter lifespan, less capacity, but is faster than the hard disk drive. Buses can be too slow, connect directly to PCI, and then it will be faster. No moving parts, so no seek time or rotational latency compared to hard disk drive. In hard disk drive, we have a arm spindle which are moving, so it can lead to a head crash, or also it is in order to move the hardware part. Certain latency or seek time additional overhead is added that can be avoided in solid state disk. That's why it is faster compared to the hard disk. Then we will look on magnetic tape. It's a early secondary storage medium than before hard disk and this solid state disk. Relatively permanent and you cannot replace it. It holds a large quantities of data comparatively. Access time is slow, makes use of random access 1000 times slower than the hard disk, mainly used for storing the backup, storing in frequently used data because it is slower in speed. Amount of time required to transfer the data between the system is taking more time. It is kept in spool and wound or rewound fast read write head. Once data under head transfer, it's comparable to disk. So its speed is lying between 140 megabytes per second and greater. We can have a typical storage of this ranging between 200 gigabytes to 1.5 terabytes. The common technologies used are LTO345 and T10000. Disk structure. Here onwards, whatever we use the term disk, that is applicable to hard disk. Hard disk only. Disk drives are addressed as a larger one-dimensional arrays of logical blocks. So you can imagine it as an array of elements where different drives are. We are dividing it into drives. We can call it as array of logical blocks, where the logical block is the smallest unit of transfer. Low-level formatting creates logical blocks on physical media. The one-dimensional array of logical block is mapped into the sectors. So this individual block is one particular sector. Sector 0 is the first sector of the first track on the outermost cylinder. Mapping proceeds in order through that track, then the rest of the tracks in that cylinder, and then through the rest of the cylinder from outermost to innermost. So it is marking on outermost area, then moving towards the inner side. Sector 0 is the first sector on the first track, that is on the outermost cylinder. So logical to physical address should be easy except for bad sectors. So what is that bad block, bad sector, that we are going to see in the later part of this particular chapter. Non-constant number of sectors per track via constant angular velocity. It is not necessary that every track should have equal number of sectors. Disk attachment. Host attached storage exists through I/O ports talking to I/O buses. SCSI architecture itself is a bus up to 16 devices on one cable. So this is the hardware specification. Each target can have up to 8 logical units disks, that is nothing but disks attached to a device controller. Device controller, you know, that is a device driver through which it's a software which is going to control that entire device. FC is a high-speed serial architecture, can be switched fabric with 24-bit address space, the basis of SAN, storage area network, in which many hosts attached to many storage units. I/O directed to bus ID, device ID, logical unit. So what is this SAN and all, that we'll see in the next slide. And storage array we'll see first. It is just attaching the disk as array of disk. Storage array has controllers which provide features to attached host, like ports to connect host to array, memory controlling software. Sometimes we use something called as NVRAM. A few 2000s of disks can be stored as an array. RAID is a structure to arrange this. You might have heard about file system like Win32. Similarly, for storage, you are making use of a RAID format. We don't have it for the syllabus. Shared storage with a more efficiency. Features found in some of the file systems are used here. Snapshots, clones, thin provisioning, replication, deduplication, etc. are the additional features of file systems which are used for the storage array for the better performance, which are the features which we find in file structures. Yeah, what is storage area network that you can observe here? Commonly in a large storage environments, multiple hosts are attached to the multiple storage array flexible. Main application of the storage array network is provide a bulk storage. You can observe here you have a network of storage devices itself, like storage arrays, tape library, that is magnetic tape library. Then several servers are attached. This in turn is connected to a LAN. So through LAN multiple clients are getting connected. So when the clients would like to have a larger storage, they can make use of a storage area network, which is a network of storage devices itself, which can be utilized by the individual clients through data processing center, or they can send the request through the web content provider to the SAN as well. SAN is nothing but this is a SAN which is containing the various servers, and mainly it is holding the number of storage devices. You can observe storage arrays having a large number of disk arrays, and you can observe there is a library of tapes also. This is how the user who is having, that's what we do. We can store it in cloud. The data we can store in cloud, we say, no? So that in turn makes use of this storage area network. So SAN is one or more storage arrays connected to one or more fiber channel switches. Hosts are also attached to the switches. Storage made is available through LAN masking from specific arrays to specific servers. Easy to add or remove the storage. Can add the new hosts and allocated storage over low latency fiber channel fabric. Why have separate storage networks and communication network? As I said, when you want to have a bulk storage for certain duration only, rather than buying it, you can just rent it. That is the purpose of storage area network. So we have another term here, that is NAS, that is network attached storage. Network attached storage is storage made available over network rather than over local connections such as a bus. You can just observe the difference between NAS and SAN. Here this SAN was connected to, SAN was a local area network that in turn has connected to a LAN or WAN, whereas in NAS you have a separate network of attached storage itself, that is sharing to the clients of other network. So storage is made available over a network rather than over a local connection of it. So it is remotely attaching to a file system. NFS and SIFS are the common protocols which are used for handling the file system of the network attached storage. It is implemented via remote procedure call, that is RPCs, between the host and the storage over typically TCP or UDP networks. ISCSI protocol is used for IP network to carry out the SCSI protocol, remotely attaching to devices or blocks. So before going to disk scheduling, that's the important part of this particular module. We'll just see what is disk scheduling. We'll see the examples in the next video. The operating system is responsible for using the hardware efficiently for the disk drives. This means having a fast access time and disk bandwidth. So it should reduce the seek time, and how seek time is reduced is having a lesser seek distance. So disk bandwidth is the total number of bytes transferred divided by the total time between the first request for service and the completion of the last transfer. So that is the purpose of the role of OS in disk management, is having a proper scheduling algorithm so that seek time is reduced. So in the next video we are going to look into different algorithms available for disk scheduling.